They're keeping
Look at that.
they're
But
keeping
the
that side down.
rotation.
Yep.
The rotation
And that's
is
part of slowing down
Yeah.
too, right? You want to make some
Yeah,
rotations
come
here.
on.
Yeah.
I
You
want
can
to
do
push
it!
it in the other. Come on, Chip 28. Come on. That's not the TPS side.
And the signal is holding steady, I guess.
How do they have signal still?
This is amazing that it hasn't gone out yet.
Oh, now they're getting it. Look at, they're turning it.
Look at that.
Oh
Just wanna
my
lose that
god.
camera here.
Wow.
How did-
I mean, can you imagine? I don't think we've ever
Flats!
seen anything like this before.
This is the most
amazing.
insane thing I've ever seen.
Oh my
And the fact that we're still
Lord.
getting
Look at that.
How does it still have signal?
You can definitely tell by the crowd here in Hawthorne.
The heat shield tiles doing their work. We talked about it earlier. Up to 2,600 degrees Fahrenheit that those heat shield tiles are dissipating as we are re-entering.
Yeah, now this was
Is it
one of the
getting through?
critical, or rather the key
think-
mission
it's doing
objectives that we were
something at
hoping to
least.
hit today.
So it looks like they're doing kind of what the shuttle used to do, which is some maneuvering, right? To use some of that
Oh.
drag to slow down.
Maybe. You're right.
How are we still seeing this?
We're seeing things. It's 80 kilometers. It's going down, boys.
And
Yep.
it's so far not, like, it looks stable? Do I dare to say it looks stable?
Speed is going down as expected.
And
Yeah,
what's
now it's
even-
fighting with the plasma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's even crazier, this is a
Speed,
completely
my God.
automated process.
Yeah.
But you want the vehicle to remain stable. You want those heat
Come
shield
on.
tiles
Chip
pointed
28. You can do
down.
it.
Look at the orientation.
So they can absorb the heat of the Earth's atmosphere.
I think so.
And so that's the purpose that they are serving.
More. You see that the speed is going down faster, the altitude is going, because the peak heating is towards the end of the entry.
And also the fact that they're getting some data here, although it may have cut off at this point.
Exactly.
But I would imagine what we just
Well,
saw
now they
and
can
that
feel-
buildup of plasma, and they've got some tiles they're holding up here on their desk there. That buildup of plasma and the heating and the visuals that they acquired here are something we've never seen before. And I would imagine that's going to be very informative for future missions of Starship to just see what forces are there and how that interacts. Here's a scene from the launch complex. It looks like the launch mount is still in good shape.
Yeah, so right now they're basically in a blackout phase. But once you have so much plasma building up and everything, you will have a blackout phase. The question is, are they acquiring signal again after the blackout phase? Because that
Right.
would mean the ship has survived re-entry, kind of. They expect the transonic milestone around 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so not too much longer here, so we'll see what happens. So we're waiting on it. It's possible we will never hear from it again. And one way or the other, if it does survive, it will be entering the ocean pretty much in a full-on
either way.
belly flop. So this is the last moments of this particular Starship, although it served us quite well, I think, this time. I mean, what an amazing set of visuals we just had.
It is.
And that was,
Completely bonkers. Also, completely bonkers. I'm continuing the segues here.
You're doing
This
great.
shot by Sean. This shot by Sean, also available in shop.nasa Space. The moment of liftoff with Hoppy in front. What an amazing print. Thank you so
And
much,
this-
Sean, for recording this.
This was just taken, and now it's like
Yes.
already there. It's, again, high-velocity merch here at NASASpaceflight.com. We got the patches, which are, I think, selling out, but we also have that re-entry sweatshirt, all sorts of great stuff to commemorate what I think is a very successful flight. I thought the second flight was successful because a lot of things that they were trying to achieve and overcome from the first one were accomplished. This one, Adrian, so far, even if the re-entry didn't go completely to plan, they got it pretty far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's honestly, I have a hard time right now. Like, this is
just processing everything. Well, I would
Yeah.
imagine you all have a lot to think about as to how to interpret what we just saw and get it out to the audience in future publications and videos and everything else that we do around here. This tower is empty because the StarShip that was once there has successfully launched. In probably just a couple of days, maybe a week or two, there will be another one stacked up and ready to go, provided they don't have too much to refurbish there. The ground systems, Alex, are obviously an area of interest as well, because, of course, after the first launch, most of that complex was destroyed pretty violently. Looks like what they did to correct that is held up here, too.
Yeah, boy, that view of the launch site, the empty launch site, it is sort of the favorite view of DAS and pretty much everyone here at NSF. But our next favorite view, I guess, will be once they start coming back with a booster, and the booster is on the chopsticks. That's going to be an exciting view, pretty much. But yeah, it seems like everything held up. Obviously, we're going to have our people out in the field. Once they open the road and everything, we'll probably be able to head out there and take more close-up shots of everything out there at Launchpad C. You know, in the grand scheme of things, it looks good. Sometimes, when you actually go there and closer, you see some small damage. The LM is obviously cooked because that's sort of in the way of the Raptors.
Right.
But that's to be expected. We saw that previous flights. We expected that. The important things is obviously the chopsticks, the QD arm. One of the things that I'm noticing here, did the chopsticks move to the booster catching position, or is it me?
What do you think, Adrian?
Where's the other arm?
Yeah, true.
In this view, there you can see they are in basically, because in the opening position, yeah, they are closing now. We're being told in the back channels. So essentially, they moved from the open position, and now they're coming back. If you remember from Flight 1, these took 2 days, and Flight 2 was much more better, right? Much more nominal, I guess. And it essentially seems to be the same here. Flight 2 was the same also. Within an hour or so, the chopsticks closed. They went back down. I really thought it was like that before, but I'm looking here at the other feeds that we have, and they were not like that before. Right after liftoff. I guess I was too excited, too excited there. But at one point, I probably do the landing of the booster, and then trying to mimic the control with the chopsticks as if they were catching it. I guess. It's gonna be exciting. But again, once our people go there to in the field, as we say, they'll probably be able to capture much closer up shots of all of the things out there at the launch site.
And what we're waiting on right now is confirmation of what happened to StarShip once it entered into that blackout period of re-entry.
Yeah.
But we got some amazing views ahead of that. It was looking a little iffy, Adrian, when when it was getting close to that blackout period. So we don't yet know if StarShip survived the last part of the test, but it seemed to do pretty well up until that point.
Yep, it's it seems I'm getting more and more skeptical about this surviving, but I mean, they reached the re-entry, everything, and they got decently far in re-entry. Like, we could observe so much time, and every single second there is data, every single second there. So
and every second is valuable data, right? So, and I think what we saw in the last, just in the progression from one mission to the next, that SpaceX tests in flight, and we've seen now everything that went wrong on the prior mission getting corrected in the follow-up one, and here they got much further, and really I think are developing a level of confidence with this launch system. And if you look at Falcon 9 today, certainly it had its hiccups and testing that it went through, and it's become a very reliable launch system as a result. So it's been interesting to see the reliability of booster and ship improve tremendously from the first one to the third one. And a lot of the milestones, I would say, if not most of the milestones, have been achieved here, Alex. What do you think? I think Alex will be checking in on some stuff there. What do you think, Adrian? We hit most of them, didn't we?
I would say, I have a hard time not calling this a huge success. I have like no matter if they acquire the ship again or not, it's such a success. This is unbelievable. And the crazy thing for me is really the progression between flights. Like, we had such a big progression between Flight 1 and Flight 2. We had now a huge progression between Flight 2 and Flight 3. They have such a great learning curve here. And they are not doing like something trivial here. They're testing things that have never really been done before. So getting to this is really, 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 really amazing. And
this graphic on screen is where we think it's coming down right now, right?
Yeah, that's one way or the other. It's re-entering. The question is just how many pieces.
Right, and it's likely from what we saw right before it lost signal, it was